Listen to me very closely when I tell you creation is like a sleuth on the case, or a thief deep in the night. Its movement is stealth and undetected. You can't see it, but it's paving the way to your wish fulfilled brick by brick. It's on the job working overtime and casting its magic after you've forgotten or moved your attention elsewhere. Just when you think it's done or has run its course, boom, bam. Surprise, surprise, your manifestation is before you, staring you square in the face. I have found and come to experience creation multiplying itself by appearing in my experience over and over. Regardless to where you are in the creative process, never, and I mean never, underestimate your own wonderful human imagination. I'm finding now that even when you've given up, creation refuses to. In the unseen, creation is building bridges of incidents, moving mountains and scaling peaks and valleys to make good on its promise to you. What I'm about to tell you has completely blown me away. Please just go with me here for a few moments while I explain. Inspired by the Jackson family, as a little kid, I decided I wanted to be a singer and a performer. I was 13 when I wrote my first song. And as you all should know by now, I have and have had a very special connection with Janet Jackson. Way back in 2001, the weekend before September 11th, I saw Janet's All For You tour. Prior to the show, at a bar across the street from the venue, there was a drawing for front row tickets and an autographed photo of Janet. My friend and I entered the drawing, but left before they picked the winner. We figured we wouldn't win. The seats my friend and I had for the show were terrible, but we still had fun. On Monday, September 10th, 2001, a coworker came to my desk and asked, "How were your front row seats, Trent?" I replied I didn't have front row seats, thinking she was teasing me and remembering how terrible my seats were at the show. Then she said, "Yes, you did. I heard a DJ repeating your first and last name over and over on the radio as the winner of 2 front row tickets and an autographed picture of Janet Jackson." In that moment, time stopped and I blinked and thought, no way. My heart began to race as I reluctantly called the radio station to confirm what I hoped wasn't true. But of course it was true. The radio personality confirmed that I did win by confirming my first and last name before I even had a chance to tell her who I was. She said they waited 10 minutes before giving my front row tickets and autographed picture to the second name they wound up having to draw. In that moment, with my hands covering my face, I considered myself a failure for missing out on most likely my one and only chance to ever be that close to Janet Jackson ever in my life. However, as you know, creation had other plans. 10 years later, in 2011, I had the pleasure of meeting Janet the first time, and last summer, meeting her for the second time. Again, never underestimate the power or the long arms your God self, which can and will reach through years to hand deliver your wish fulfilled. Janet is going on tour again this summer in 2024. A friend asked if I had plans on going to her concert again. I replied that the show is just a second leg of last year's show, and that I probably would not attend. Then I said, I'd seen Janet live at least 9 times, and met her twice, so I was good. Boy, oh boy, was creation about to bring me to my knees in utter disbelief. Last month, my lawyer contacted me to tell me that there was some interest in some song submissions from several years ago. This happens from time to time, but rarely goes anywhere when it comes down to the business of splitting music publishing with an artist who wants to record some of my work. I just advised him to forward the offer to me, and I'd read over it. Last week, my lawyer contacted me again and said the management of the same artist had reached out to him again and that he would forward the email to me while I was on the phone. I called the contact without reading the email fully and recognized the business office I was calling was for Rhythm Nation Records, Janet Jackson's independent record label. It turns out Janet wanted to procure the exclusive rights to 2 of my songs, meaning she just wants to secure the rights of exclusivity and possibly include 2 of my songs for her upcoming Black Diamond project. I didn't submit these songs directly to her. Her team said they didn't know how my songs got to her, only that she instructed they definitely be secured. We're still ironing out the details, and nothing is set in stone. But I mean, damn, after all these years, creation is still busy at work, over and over and over again. I shed a couple tears of joy thinking about how far I've come in my godhood. Then I suddenly remembered something. When I was 17 in 1994, I drew this picture. I had very long hair back then, so I depicted myself the way I looked then in this drawing. Also, you'll notice the drawing is incomplete. I never finished it. Now, of course, you see Janet and I holding a huge record plaque at a Billboard award function. As you know, this is not really a drawing, but a script. All these years later, creation is still working. I marvel at my God self, and how it never forgets, and is still hard at work. No matter the buffer of time, creation never ever takes a break until the wish is fulfilled. I'm still shedding tears of joy. I've gone from meeting Janet twice to having she wanting to record songs I wrote due to my being so inspired by her and her family. Talk about full circle. I continue to be overwhelmed and amazed by the stealth movement of creation and the God power Neville Goddard has ignited to an inferno within me. At this point, I'm at a loss for words. Simply speechless. Guys, the channel is still growing every day thanks to you. Please keep listening, hitting the thumbs up button and subscribing. Thanks for the support. Until next time, peace.